Oye, belterlowda, inyalowda. It's the heart of the Tempest here, broadcasting straight to your news feeds via the Ringgate network, that is YouTube, and we're back for the Season 5 penultimate episode of the best sci-fi show of the decade. I'm very late with this one, I know I'm very late, but I've been busy. What are you gonna do, man? I shall try to ensure that my finale video makes up for my tardiness by discussing the season on a whole, you know, my thoughts and comparisons of the book, etc. But for now, let's talk about Winnipesaukee. So, we open on the Free Navy fleet burning through the vacuum. Marco is informed of the results of a recent battle between some Golden Bow raiders and 3 ships of the Consolidated Fleet, the emergency government of non-Free Navy mankind. 4 of the Golden Bow were killed, but they took out 1 UNN cruiser, the other fleeing the battle, and the Martian frigate was reported lost. Note that reported lost and destroyed are not the same thing. There's a reason for that, I'm sure. Marco pays respects to the fallen with the faintest of sincerity, but concludes the victory was worth the price. Of course it was, you dickhead. Marco gets a tight beam from Corral. If you don't remember Carol, she was that really massive fucking cunt the whole season. She's aboard the DeWalt, I think it's the DeWalt, or the Tynan, or whatever the fuck. She informs him of the briefly altered then stopped distress call. She plays it for him, and Marco immediately knows the meaning of it. He knows how clever Naomi is, and that only she could be behind this, meaning she survived. Then get a nice little intercutting between the Razorback and the Rocinante discussing the message. Cut to Alex and Bobby. Alex too knows that something is up with the message, that it can't just be, you know, a random malfunction. And then we cut to the Rocinante, and Holden, Bull and Monica are listening to it too. Bull is arguing that it's just a malfunction, that the distress fucked up and then went dead, or, you know, it's just a possibility. Holden looks at him like, poor choice of words. Bull doesn't know Naomi well enough to assume she could be behind it, which is fair enough, to be honest. He doesn't really know her. No one other than Marco and the Free Navy know how little functionality was left in the Chetsamoka after all. Cut back to the Razorback, and Bobby is voicing her possibilities for what the message meant, which are all quite reasonable. You know, she doesn't have full access, she's being monitored, etc. Whatever the deal is, they are closer than the Rossi, and we'll find out when they get there. Monica is also thinking along the same lines as Bobby, you know, asking why so cryptic, why not just come out and say what's going on. Holden doesn't really care what the answer is, of course. He just wants to get there and save his lover. Monica and Bull are in a tough position, you know. They have agreed to come aboard the Rossi and follow Jim's orders, but they are very wary that he may be blinded by love and may cost them their lives. But also, you know, it's Holden. They respect the fuck out of him, and, you know, he'll always try to do the right thing. Aboard the Chetsamoka, Naomi finds some ice on a pipe and begins to scrape it off desperately onto her vac-suit terminal, I guess you would call it her wrist terminal. She exits the hull and gasps for air once more. Hopefully that'll be the last time we see it, because it's painful to watch, as in painful, like, you know, Revenant's painful to watch, like, god damn, just give the bitch some oxygen. And then she licks the water droplets off her terminal. Gross, totally gross. I'm joking, of course. Do what you do to survive. She'll be so dehydrated and is it hypoxic is the word, when you don't get enough oxygen? She'll be dehydrated and hypoxic by now. I do concur. She falls to the floor ready to pass out when she notices a rip in the plastic coating, I'm assuming it's plastic, coating around one of the bomb's wires. Ooh, what could that mean? Cut to credits. After the credits, we get some nice panning bird's eye shots of a frozen enclave with many a property. We stop and focus on one particular house. We see from inside that this property's suborbital shuttle is still there as Eric's helicopter thing comes in for landing. In the books, they walk it. They don't have a helicopter. They walk it over about 2 weeks or something. But, you know, fair enough. We've only got 10 episodes. Amos and Peaches and Eric and his crew make their way toward the mansion. They go down a driveway looking bit and into a tunnel where they find the shuttle hangar bay / launch pad. They break in and find the shuttle. Peaches assures Eric that she can fly it. It's not really shocking, to be honest, to know she can pilot a ship, considering her sister was a record-breaking pilot herself. As they approach the shuttle, they hear a noise and turn to see a bunch of civilians hiding down here too. It's the winter staff, everybody, who assumed they were breaking into the house, so they hid down there. Smart move, smart move. Clarissa introduces herself and they remember her from a family dinner one Thanksgiving a lifetime ago. They remind Clarissa that she and her sister kept fighting and her mother had to... Who gives a fuck? Does the shuttle work? Eric certainly has his eye on the prize. The winter staff inform Amos and co. that while the shuttle can go to Luna, it hasn't flown in a while due to a reactor problem. Amos Peaches and Eric head into the shuttle to find the problem. On Luna, Christian is on her way to, assumedly, her next meeting, checking her DMs and ting, when she notices down below someone transferring a name and message into the virtual memorial for Earth. She barely has time to take it in before a wave of excitement sweeps the room. She sees on the newsfeed that Palace Station has been attacked! Those bastards, they left her out, they attacked, and she storms off. She finds Delgado walking along the corridor on the way to the same meeting. So that's my Englishness, meeting. And she calls him out for going behind her back. He tells her the SecGen asked for his opinion privately and he gave it to him, which is both true and fair. As they walk into the meeting, we hear one of the, "Oh, we should nuke him, sir," type dickheads talking about attacking Callisto next. Callisto is a Martian facility, and the other dickhead, who, is just like, who cares? Even Tycho should be a target too, Earth Corp or not. If I was in charge, this guy would be gone in a second. There's a difference between... a military leader like Delgado, who wants and is prepared to take action, and this guy who just wants to fucking kill anyone who might be his enemy, no matter what the cost. Fuck these assholes. No time for these assholes. Avasarala jumps in and asks what Tycho should be a target for. Then David Pastor answers with follow-up strikes, and he is expanding the Palace Initiative. And with one sentence, he undoes all the goodwill that I had for him so far and proves himself to be an absolute fucking tool. Fuck this guy. I honestly got Michael Scott vibes from his delivery. And I love Michael Scott. Alright, I love Michael Scott. But I would never, ever, ever have him anywhere near any kind of real power. This guy's literally just struck Palace. Like, literally just happened. Because it's just played on the news. Everyone's getting excited about it. So we know it's just happened. And is now like, yeah, let's blow some more shit up. He heard the word initiative. And thought, that word sounds cool. Let me combine that with the excitement around the damage done at Palace. And fucking roll with it. So yeah, fuck that guy. Not happy with this guy right now. Avasarala tries to defuse the situation and says the only thing they should be doing now is trying to spin this strike into a one-off military objective, e.g. Palace was harbouring Free Navy commanders or something. It needs to be made clear that Earth is not at war with the Belt, and Delgado responds that they are at war with the Belt. What are you talking about? And Delgado, well, not as bad as the rest, just lost respect too from me. No room for racists in a war against people standing up to racists. Avasarala tries to get her point across one last time. Marco Inaros. Did I really just say that? Marco Inaros is a rogue extremist and he does not speak for the entire Belt, which is true. Most who have joined him have either joined him out of fear, coercion, or simply because his actions have gave them no other choice, e.g., Drummer and co. Marco is as much a danger to his own people as he is to everyone else, which is true. General Fuckface is like, he didn't throw rocks at Belters, just completely missing her point. Pastor thinks Christian is upset because he didn't include her on his plans, but she is upset with the actual plan regardless of how involved she was. She tries to say that if we keep attacking civilians, we are no better than Marco, but Delgado interrupts her before she finishes, rhetorically bringing up that Inaros did it to them, but Avasarala returns fire by shouting, "Is Marco our role model now?" Which is the driving point of the scene, nailed on the head. Like, if you're not going to be better, you're not going to win by playing the same rules as Marco. Like, you're going to lose that way, even if you end up actually winning the war. You've lost your fucking soul, man. Belters are not one nation despite Marco's claims, and that can be exploited. There are other ways to fight this war without killing innocents, but Pastor shrugs it off, saying it will take too long, that they need to disarm the enemy as soon as possible. Which is a decent point, I suppose, but Marco has, whether you can trust Marco or not, obviously fair enough, but he's already announced to the system that he will leave Earth alone if they don't fuck with him. So they do have a chance to convalesce and make friends with Marco's enemies, which will grow in number over time. Then we get a great little monologue from Christian as she pours her heart out to the room. She knows exactly how everyone feels and why they want revenge. Marco killed her husband. He killed fucking Arjun, man. And she'd happily watch him gasp for air on the hooks. Season 1 reference. But that is how Belters will be feeling themselves now after Palace, and even more so if they continue. For every partisan they kill, they create 10 more, like Hydra, but with partisans. She silences the room briefly before Pastor apologises for her loss, but they can't make decisions based on emotions. Did you not hear what she just said? She's saying she isn't basing her choices off emotions and that those who want revenge are incompetent and deaf, apparently. Unless, I misunderstood, but I'm pretty sure he's fucking dumb. Delgado offers his opinion once more that they should hit Ceres Station. Fucking hell, man. Ceres Station? These guys are idiots, right? Fuck you, Delgado. I'm sorry. You're off the team now, too. Pastor ignores Christian's plea, ignores the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of innocent children. What a prick. As soon as someone says you're at risk of killing hundreds of thousands of innocent children, you're supposed to, a normal person would go, oh shit, actually, yeah, let's find a better plan than that. Unless you've got 10 seconds to make a decision, you shouldn't be making that fucking decision so lightly, man. So Avasarala does what any rational person would do and quit that bullshit cabinet. And as she leaves, half the room leaves with her, saying, fuck this shit, we're supposed to be better than this. Which is just beautiful to see. The room's literally cut in two, but, like I said, the people on one side are the people who want to do the right thing, and the other side are just, let's nuke them, sir. They look different from us. How the tables have turned, how the characters have grown. There was a time when it was Admiral Souther who was stepping down due to Christian's tactics. Except, as I said, she ain't walking out alone. On either the Moteng, Dewalt or Tynan, I'm not sure which, Carol enters what I believe is the bridge and tells everyone to leave except Oksana. At the end of the last episode, together they realise that Naomi might be alive and are obviously keeping it to themselves. If Naomi is alive, the Chetsumoke has not changed course and so she doesn't have control of the ship. Oksana points out that might not last long. Drummer has told her that Naomi was the smartest person she knew. Which is true, Naomi is probably by far the smartest person in the books. Yeah, I'd probably say she's a smart... In book Naomi is probably the smartest in the whole series, to be fair. She's absolute fucking genius, man. If they reveal this information to Drummer, she will insist that they go to see for themselves, even if ordered not to. Carol then convinces Oksana that she can't tell Drummer, her wife, under threat it seems. She says Drummer is not the only one here you love, which could be interpreted as Drummer will get you all killed if you tell her, or tell her and they'll all be killed as punishment, or both. They must await Marco's orders and follow them through, whatever they may be. And if they do anything different because she told Drummer, then whatever happens will be Oksana's fault. So yeah, definitely a threat. Fuck you, Carol. Back on Winnipesaukee, Amos and Peaches exit the shuttle to find Eric and his crew stuffing their faces with food prepared by the winter staff. I love that Hutch has got a little a serviette or a napkin to some stuffed in her collar. Very cute. One of the gang thanks the staff for their hospitality with real sincerity, although you can't help but feel like they're doing this at gunpoint. They don't have a choice, but at least everyone's being nice about it. They discuss what's wrong with the shuttle, but can't seem to figure it out. It's fueled, but the reactor won't start. Every time they try to start it, something trips. Eric asks if they should see how far they can get with what fuel the chopper has left, but Amos is determined to fix the shuttle. Whatever the problem is, between them they can fix it, but if it is a software problem, they will need help. Luckily, that's how Eric got his start in life, a programming genius. It's probably a security protocol, and if Eric can bypass it and convince the ship that the owners are home, then he's welcome to help. Peaches asks if he can fake an ID like that, and Amos and Eric share a brilliant look. I love the faces they both pull. If you haven't read the book/short stories, or for some reason you haven't figured it out by now, Amos managed to leave Earth using a fake ID Eric made for him. It was first hinted at in Season 3 when Monica asked about Amos's background and that there was a mob boss named Amos Burton also in Baltimore. Eric gets an alert on his terminal and they head outside to find a group of civilian neighbours who have come asking questions. A bunch of mostly old people, basically. They assumed they were relief services due to the helicopter. They haven't been able to contact the outside world and are going to run out of supplies soon. Eric doesn't give a fuck. He just wants them to go, but Clarissa can't bring herself to leave them. She offers them all a ride when they have fixed the shuttle. Amos and Eric try to argue, it's not something they should be announcing to everyone on the lake that they're fixing the shuttle and plan to leave. But she says if you want me to help fix the ship, then do it, motherfuckers. And it's the right thing to do. It's what Holden would do. These people are innocent and will die without help, and especially, as we see a group of characters who are also living on the Enclave. The shuttle has enough room, so, bring them aboard. Don't be an asshole, Eric. Just fucking bring them aboard, man. Amos comes around and tells them to be here on time or get left behind. Drummer receives her orders from Marco via tight beam. He tells her to join the Serio Mal and the Koto, and together they will intercept and attack the Rocinante. Oh my god! Destroying it is their first and only priority. The smile, the smile he wears when he, relays this to Drummer, knowing her connection with the Rocinante. Honestly, you're asking for a fucking betrayal, Marco. Carol gives it the old Heil Marco, and when Drummer doesn't, she immediately tries to question Drummer's obedience. The orders make no sense, which is true. Why would he send them into a fight with the most legendary ship in the system if that ship is already headed into a trap? It doesn't make any sense. Carol argues that the symbolic importance of them killing the Rossi is why they have to, but again, why not come up with that first? Why lay the trap? Drummer ain't buying what Carol and Marco are selling, basically. Carol then resorts back to threats that Drummer's family's lives are sworn to Marco. Carol the cunt strikes again. She's a bigger twat than even Mercury, to be honest. And Mercury was a big fucking twat. Mercury was like, the villain character from season 4, if you can't remember. And I can't wait to see this bitch die. And I don't like wishing death upon anyone, but it's fiction, so I'm happy to do it. And neither can Drummer, apparently. Oksana steps up to her and demands her gun. Drummer's emotions can't be trusted, but she says she is fine, and Oksana makes the lame argument that if she is fine, there's no reason not to. I mean, fuck that shit. That's like when the government says, if you've got nothing to hide, you won't mind us snooping through your shit. Like, hiding something illegal and not wanting to share every personal detail about your life aren't fucking mutual exclusive, motherfuckers. Feel free to look through my shit when you let me into your classified files, nah, I mean. Tangent over. Anyway, Oksana pleads with Drummer, who gives in and lets her gun go. And then we get a very, very emotional moment, at least for me, because I have a heart of gold. Meltable gold. Back on Luna, Christian is at the virtual memorial for Earth's Fallen. So although she said she would keep messaging Arjun until he replied, which she is still doing by book 6, never believing he was dead. Well, she knows he's dead, but she's not giving up that commitment she made. After her monologue earlier, she has come to believe it to be the truth. Acceptance, the final stage of grief, apparently. She throws her message up onto the memorial. Arjun Avasarala Rao, beloved husband, if life transcends death, then I will search for you there. And then, for some reason, the screen goes really blurry and I can't see for a minute or two. She pushes the message in with the rest of them, and we see as the camera pans up that there are hundreds, maybe thousands. I mean, it looks like hundreds. I didn't count. Don't expect me to count. Hundreds of names and messages. As she turns to leave, Admiral Tesfaye? I don't trust myself in the pronunciation of these these names anymore, unless I hear them. Admiral Tesfaye, I'm assuming Admiral because I'm not a sexist, approaches her and informs her that 3 more cabinet ministers have resigned. Pastor has lost so much support that they are now scheduling a no-confidence vote for the next day. Christian assumes she's talking about a coup, treason, but Tesfaye assures her that the elections will be legal. But why she's here is what they want to know, if she will serve again. Of course she fucking will. What else is she going to do? In Delgado's office, Avasarala awaits. As soon as he sees her, he has to laugh, knowing she's been picked for the elections. He laughs again when she tells him she wants him on her cabinet. She trusts him and he isn't afraid of her, which is, exactly the kind of person you want on your cabinet. You don't want a yes man, basically. As flattered as he is keen on getting his hands dirty and requested transfer to a strike team where he hopes to be the one to kill Inaros. Christian reminds him that he hasn't seen combat in 20 years. His wisdom is far better suited to the sit room. Avasarala has a history of driving military people away from her, and Delgado doesn't want that either. Christian has to give him the reality check that Inaros may win if they go toe-to-toe. Toe-to-toe at this moment. Felix is more concerned with being the one to kill Marco, though. So Christian pours them both a drink and starts repeating the joke back to him that he had started ages ago. I think maybe in episodes, 2 or 3 or something like that. Wanting to finally know the punchline, and it's fucking awful. What a shit joke. Basically just a racist comment. There's nothing humorous about it whatsoever. At least the classic, Englishman, Irishman, Scotsman, they were funny and harmless and played on stereotypes. This was just shite. Just shite. And not only that, Belter's just fucked Earth over big time, so it doesn't even work now. So yeah, take your joke, shove it up your ass because it's whack. Avasarala says not a word, and Felix knows how shit the joke is. They drink together, and we can assume he will agree to join her cabinet. Back on Earth at Winnipesaukee, Amos and Peaches join Eric and some of his gang outside as they are talking with a group of dudes claiming to be Winnipesaukee security officers. Either they are fake or they were actually security guards, but either way, they're just trying to shake them down for food. What a bunch of fucking morons. What a bunch of fucking morons, thinking they can shake down a group of armed people so easily, you know? They claim they want to move all food and supplies to one central location for easier distribution. What a fucking joke. So Amos is like, yeah, sure, bring it all here, we'll look after it. Aha, fuck you. The guy, credited as Pinkwater leader on IMDb, Pinkwater being a security firm from the books, sort of like Star Helix, tells them they have already set up a base of operations in one of the houses. No one is buying this bullshit. Amos lists out the security dude's actions to illustrate how daft and obvious they are. They've taken someone's house and now they're trying to take everyone's food too. Eric straight up calls them out, saying it's the most pathetic shakedown he's ever seen. And then the leader tries to fluff himself up and even demands access to the helicopter. Hutch tells him to blow her, which is hilarious. I always find it hilarious when a girl says something so, you know, stereotypically masculine. When she says blow me, I'm just like, hilarious. Then we get the lamest response ever. The leader says if you don't like it, you could complain to the authorities. Oh wait, there are none except for me. What a fucking douchebag moron. If there are no authorities, why on earth are they going to listen to you? They've already just fucking called you bloody rent-a-cop like fucking 10 seconds ago to show they don't care about you or your authority. How could he possibly think he's being intimidating? But then he gets nasty and tells them to shut the fuck up and do what he says. Whoa, so fucking scary. Amos refuses and is about to take his head off with whatever tool he has in his hand, but Clarissa stops them from fighting. She has seen enough death already and her soul can't bear more pointless killing. And Earth has been fucked over and we can't have people fighting each other, you know. Otherwise civilization will never find a way back, man. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty daft. It's probably not what I would do. They probably should just whack them all right there, you know, nip that shit in the bud. But I'm not Clarissa, so what can I say? Amos reluctantly lets them go, knowing they will be back. And I know there's a lot of people complaining and asking why Amos let the security guards go. And if you really need an answer that's so obvious, it's because he's grown as a character, you fucking idiots. Go watch The Hound eat chicken and call people cunts if you just want caricatures of, you know, characters. But I'd rather see someone who's not the same character after 5 seasons, thank you very much. This decision is absolutely in line with Amos' character. You know, Amos attaches himself to people that he knows will do the right thing so that it will help him do the right thing. You know, I've said that before, it's basically been in the show. And right now, Clarissa is that person. You know, Amos didn't even kill Murtry because Holden didn't want him to. And he hated Murtry. He fucking hated Murtry. He doesn't even know these dudes. The real criticism here is that they didn't take cover and tell the security guards to fuck off from a distance, you know, rather than let them get close enough to stand in front of each other. It's probably not something I would have done, but... You know, maybe they snuck up on them, maybe they didn't know they were armed, who knows? Maybe it's just stupid, who knows? After they fuck the guards off, Amos warns that they are going to come back, subtly asking if Peaches is sure it was the right decision. Hutch and Eric complain, but Amos tells them to get on with it. The decision has been made. Back with Drummer's fleet, Oksana is in an airlock, suiting up. Drummer approaches the inner door and tells her that she doesn't understand Marco's plan. Oksana half deflects and says that they outnumber the Rossi, they won't lose, don't worry about it. Drummer accuses her of keeping secrets from her now as well. If Oksana is keeping something from her, is it so unreasonable that she has good reasons for it? Drummer snaps at her, tells her not to treat her like a child and that she's earned the truth. Marco killed Ashford and she still joined him to protect her family. He killed her best friend and now orders her to kill her family too. And once again she went along with it. Cara G is just a fucking joy to watch from her first scene to her last. She just... absolutely decks his character, man. Persuaded, Oksana opens the door between them. Little bit of visual storytelling there. She's removing the barrier between them. Simple, but always good. And requires Drummer to admit she loves her family as much as she does Naomi. Only then can she trust that Drummer won't overreact to what she's about to tell her. She tells her the truth, that it's possible Naomi is alive on the Chetsamoka, and that's why Marco wants them to destroy the Rossi before they can help her. Drummer goes to storm off, but Oksana stops her, reminding her that they can't help her now, and if she betrays Marco, they will all be killed. She begs her to respect that, and then closes the door, putting the barrier back between them. Back on Winnipesaukee, Peaches and Eric are working on the shuttle. She joins him in the cockpit, and they have both done everything they can, but they still can't figure out the problem. Eric asks why Timmy calls her Peaches, and she responds that she doesn't know. The answer is that A, Amos is just a bit of a weirdo who likes to use monikers. We've seen that lots of times before. And B, Peach Melba is a dessert dish. In the show, he starts using it after she tells him not to call her Melba. Some might argue that he wants to help her disassociate from her past by not calling her Clarissa, but I'm not convinced on that. If anything, Melba would be the name to disassociate with. Clarissa is her name, not her actions. Peaches asks why Eric calls him Timmy, and he's just like, because that's his name. He says he wouldn't ask, but eventually, you know, no doubt they're going to be close enough for her to ask and get the full story from him. He told Way some pretty personal things last season, and she only knew him for like a couple of days or something, so, you know, the friendship that's to come between them two, I'm sure he will be open and honest about it. Outside the mansion, Amos is sitting near Hutch and some others. Hutch walks down to Amos to see what's up. Amos shouts to the guy flirting, the guy getting his flirt on, sorry, to get his ass on the roof and watch the tree line, and tells the chick to get inside and keep safe. They're distracting each other. They can get laid in their own time, basically. Hutch warns if they keep pushing them, they will push back, which, no, they won't. They're not. No one's going to stand up to Amos. If Eric's not standing up to Amos, then Amos is not going to have anyone stand up to him. Hutch shares the liquor she found in the house with him and tries to have a conversation. That's what this show's about, you know? People sitting down and talking. Not aliens. People talking. She brings up him leaving the first time and that he must have been happy to go. He says he wasn't at first until he found his place. Oh, he found his place on the rest of Nantes. That's so cute. Hutch spent her whole life learning how to survive in Baltimore and is worried that she won't be able to make the necessary changes in order to move on and start again. Amos fucking hell, that word's caught in my mouth. Amos, no, just lisp. Amos empathizes with her and tells her that the only thing he learned coming back to Baltimore after all this time is that no one starts over because no one really leaves anything behind. This triggers a Jake Peralta-esque epiphany, where the answer was staring in front of him, you know, staring him in the face the whole time, or, in his words, you gotta stop thinking about something to figure it out. He rushes back to the shuttle. Back in the cockpit, Eric and Peaches are still talking. Eric oh so subtly brings up the fact that there is loads of people coming with them now, and Peaches tells them that they are just growing the tribe, something Amos said earlier. When things get bad, the tribe shrinks. Eric says, yeah, he's right, you should listen to him, but Peaches agrees, but also points out that he's wrong, and that if she and Amos didn't team up with Eric and his gang, they'd both be fucked. A bigger tribe is a stronger tribe. She then makes quite a profound point that if people decided to include everyone in the tribe without demanding they prove themselves first, maybe people wouldn't have thrown rocks at them. Think about it. This is something that Anna would say, right? That's legit. As soon as she said it, I was like, that's something Anna would say for sure. Eric laughs her off and is like, geez, where did Amos find you? Thinking she was like some goody two-shoes elitist or whatever. And she's just like, serving a life sentence for multiple homicides. All awkwardly, very cute. Then Amos chimes in that he has managed to find the problem with the shuttle and has fixed it. Yes! Eric tests it and gives it the old spectrum is green. And then we finish off Amos's trip to Earth with a well-filmed and tense, if not a little over the top, but still very fun action scene. Outside the mansion, Amos, Peaches and Eric are rounding everyone up. Peaches takes the civilians down into the hangar, while Amos asks what the holdup is, and the sniper in the balcony starts reporting movement from the tree line when wham! Headshot. Amos yells, sniper, and everyone takes cover. The security officers have come back with more numbers and have tried to ambush them. Eric loses a bunch of guys in the firefight. Inside, Clarissa ensures all the people gets onto the ship, but then she hears people coming down from inside the house and gets ready for a fight. Despite not wanting to kill anymore, she hears them say, kill anyone who resists, leaving no choice but defend her tribe. Outside, Amos and co start running back to the hangar, providing each other cover fire as they do. Another gang member goes down as they realise they are being pincered. They hug the wall, which is a good tactic, very John Wick-esque. As they get into the tunnel and close the door, another guy goes down. Savage, man. Savage. Imagine surviving the attack on Earth only to be killed by some fucking asshole fellow Earther, man. Disgraceful behaviour. So yeah, you know, I'm with Peaches now. Fuck death and fuck killing each other for stupid shit. Anyway, as they get to the hangar bay, we hear some almost inhuman screaming. Fucking terrifying sound. And as we turn the corner, we see Peaches kneeling on the bloody floor, surrounded by a massacred group of fucking enemies, man. Badass. Badass. Project Badass. The people who saw her in action are just like, what the fuck, dude? She killed them with her bare hands. And Eric is like, I'm going to be a hell of a lot nicer to her from now on. Jokes. Obviously, after taking her mod, she's all fucked up now, so Eric helps her get to the ship. Hutch and Amos stay behind to provide cover fire while everyone else gets on board. And as they run to the ship, Hutch takes a bullet and calls for Amos, and he runs back for her and then drags her backwards as she fires at the enemies. It's always fucking cool, in my opinion, when someone's being dragged and they're still firing. That's always cool. He closes the airlock and tells them to punch it. They light up, but they're waiting for the hangar doors to open above them. But Eric is just like, fuck this. Hits the fusion drive and they smash right on through to the other side. The fire from the drive just incinerates the security team as they try to get away. But the drive also smashes up the mansion too a little bit, which at first did make me cock my head and go, "Why? Why on earth, pun intended, would you place the shuttle so close to the house if it's going to damage it like that?" But I'm assuming that Eric, activated like the main fusion drive and that there's a lesser one. Given we know you can take off the ground without such a force, or it's a mistake and I'm just trying to justify it. Who knows? Anyway, they reach space, they reach the vacuum, and the drive cuts off. Most people are probably passed out, but Amos helps medicate a passed out Hutch, and then takes one last look at Earth and the sunrise before turning his back on it for good. In our penultimate scene, Philip is in his quarters on the Peller when Marco comes a-knocking. Philip has been keeping to himself ever since Marco blamed him for Sin's death. Then they both say sorry at the same time. Pretty cute. Pretty cute, I'll give you that. Philip tells him that he has nothing to be sorry for. Philip admits that he brought Naomi with them because he thought... Well, he cuts off, but I imagine he's going to say because he thought he could have a mother again. Marco, in return, admits that Naomi is still alive. Although Philip saw her, jump out of an airlock with no vac suit on, she somehow managed to make a hard vacuum transit to the Chetzemoka before they left. All this was fine. The scene's fine so far, but then the scene becomes the worst scene of the whole season. Nay, the whole show. I hope I'm wrong and that I'm misunderstanding the scene, misunderstanding the characters. Please correct me if I am. Right, but so far I hate it, right? So Marco tells his son that Naomi didn't try to kill herself out of sadness or despair or remorse, but because she was trying to escape, she left them again. Philip flips out in anger and Marco holds him close, trying to calm him down. So I get that Marco is trying to use the fact that Naomi is alive to further push Philip away from her. That's, classic manipulative Marco. And when Philip finds out in the book that she's still alive, he goes mental too and puts all his hate into her. So it's technically faithful, right? Nope. In the book, they planned to kidnap Naomi the whole time so they could keep her safe. At least that's the bullshit Marco had everyone believing, so they'd follow his fucked up orders. In the book, Naomi goes out of her way to manipulate Philip into thinking she wanted to die. That's part of her plan to escape. He says some really nasty things to her, but he doesn't hit her, and he doesn't... We don't get the scene, basically, from episode 7 where they're all horrible to her and even Sin looks on, right? There's nothing like that in the book. In the book, when Philip finds out his mother is alive, it's not some personal moment like this, but it's in front of lots of smirking, unfamiliar people on a ship where he's the last one to find out and he's utterly humiliated. That's why he's pissed off, because he's been humiliated and manipulated and humiliated by his mother. Whereas... Right, I didn't get any of this in the show. Didn't get any of it. It just comes across that Philip is deeply upset because she tried to escape and leave him again. And it's just like, well, what the fuck do you expect? What the fuck do you expect? I just turned this glass of water upside down and it spilled everywhere. Oh my god, what a surprise. No, what the fuck did you expect? Whether Naomi died or made it to the Chetzemoka, either way, she would have escaped him. I don't know. Please correct me. And tell me why I'm wrong, because right now, I don't like this scene at all. I think it's fucking stupid, and I can't believe it was actually written by the book writers, because they wrote this episode. I can't believe it. This just seems so stupid to me. So like I said, maybe I hope I'm wrong. Please correct me if I am. Anyway, in our last scene of the episode, we are back on the Chetzemoka with Naomi. She has managed to hook up the vac suit to the cables from the explosives. Drawing power from the explosives. It works, and she's able to get a small radar-like map thing on the suit screen, so she can see the boundary conditions for the explosives, and she can see that the Razorback is still on its way, so her message didn't get out. If she doesn't find a way to warn them or stop them from getting close enough to dock, they're all going to be killed. And then she remembers the pipe. She remembers the pipe that she was able to get some ice from earlier, and it triggers an epiphany. So she shoots up, marks the wall, and heads into the hull interior one last time. And scene. So, other than that one scene, the Philip and Marco scene that I hated, this episode was great. It was great. The season has been making use of all the plots and ideas that they have set up over previous seasons, but on a smaller scale. This episode has been doing the same and will hopefully provide the foundation for an excellent finale.